Welcome to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, the daily talk show with the voice of Penn State football and men's basketball. You never know what special guest may stop on by any given day. Now here's the man of the hour, Mr. Steve Jones.
Yes, the playoffs begin.
The MLB playoffs, we have not yet discussed them because the season wrapped up before we could officially get to it. Steve Jones, if you paid hundreds of millions of dollars to have a team lose terribly in 3.5 months and miss the playoffs because you lost to the Marlins, how would you feel?
I didn't spend my money well.
Mm-hmm. Some things in this world bring me joy, and that's one of them.
Yeah, the
New
Mets,
York Mets.
The Mets. The entire goal of spending that money, there are two goals to it. Number one, to overtake the Phillies in the East and overtake the Braves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Braves just didn't have a good year, so that was an easy.
Yeah.
They got close to the Phillies at one point when they swept them at Citi Field.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, they couldn't sustain it. Then when they went to the bank, the Phillies swept them, and the Phillies got on a roll and never looked back. You can't go to Miami, play the Marlins, and lose the series. You can't do that. You can't do that. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, Boston hasn't spent the money the Mets did.
No.
But when the Red Sox needed to take 2 out of 3 from Tampa Bay, they did. When they needed to take 2 out of 3 from Toronto, they did. When they needed to take 2 out of 3 from Detroit, they did. Right? That's how they closed their season. They closed their season 6-3 with 4 of the wins against playoff teams. Right? And they're not as good as the Mets.
Mets have a
They're
payroll.
not as good as the Mets. The problem is the Mets. Let's start with the basics with the Mets. What's wrong with the Mets?
Their starting rotation is not good.
The starting
enough.
rotation is not good. They don't have a stopper at the front. They used to, but he now pitches for the Phillies, even though he's out for the year. Zach Wheeler. Okay? You have to have somebody at the front that you hand the ball to, and that's your guy. So, for example, the Yankees went out in the offseason. I didn't, Garrett Cole's out for the year, but they picked up Max Fried. Fried's that kind of guy. They picked him up. So Fried is going to be the guy that they will lean on, but they've got that guy. Tarek Skubal is that guy.
Yeah.
With Detroit. Garrett Crochet is that guy for Boston. All right? Now, you don't have Wheeler anymore. So maybe it's Sanchez in Philadelphia, but Wheeler had been the guy.
Yeah. But you have Sanchez,
right?
Luzardo's good, Nola's good.
Nola is,
but
we'll see. Nola's a scary one of the group. But, the Cubs, right, they're in this thing. San Diego has guys. And not only that, San Diego has loaded the back of its bullpen. The Mets pitching is just not to playoff caliber. Their starting pitching is not to playoff caliber, and they don't have the relievers to get the Diaz. San Diego, for example, has relievers where the 3 guys are interchangeable as to what inning you want to pitch them and which one's going to close. And, did they trade people to get those guys?
Yeah.
Yes. But they won the division. The Dodgers did not win the division.
Nope.
The Dodgers' biggest problem is not their starting rotation. And by the way, Kershaw was left off the opening round. Okay? But they don't have the bullpen.
Yeah, they've been annihilated by injuries this season, which is part of it, but they've still got Yamamoto, Ohtani, Snell, Glasnow as their 4.
And then
that's crazy.
Then there's the Soto part. Soto had good home run numbers. Did not have a great batting average. Right? Was lackadaisical in the field, which he normally is anyway. He is a great talent, but he's always been the player now. Now we have a sample size with him. His time with the Nationals, his time with the Padres, his time with the Yankees, albeit 1 year, and now with the Mets 1 year. What has been his MO? When he is in a comfortable situation,
he
thrives.
He is
the
great.
Nationals. He was in a comfortable situation. He was critical, but wasn't the guy. Zimmerman was the guy.
He was just a young hotshot who was coming up, and everyone's like, this is the future.
Zimmerman was the guy. Strasburg was the guy. Scherzer was the guy.
You get
and
to
they
San
won
Diego.
World Series. Now he goes out there. Yeah, you've got Machado's the guy, Tatis, but he was expected because of the acquisition, and it wasn't right. It wasn't comfortable, and he didn't play well. Okay? Now he goes to the Yankees. Judge is the guy. He doesn't have to be the guy.
He sits there and hits 288 and hits 41 homers and does well.
Hit the big home run against Cleveland in the playoffs last year that propelled the Yankees into the World Series.
Batted 327 in the playoffs. That's incredible.
Incredible.
327, 4 home runs.
Right.
In his 2019 year with the Nats when they won, 5 home runs, 277. He was hitting. Right. And then just.
Okay. But then it's time to go and sign somebody. Okay. What's your team again?
The New York Yankees.
The Yankees, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there is no way in heck if I'm the Yankees, I re-sign him for the number he wanted. There's no way in heck I'm with any organization and re-sign him for the money he wanted. It's one guy.
Yeah.
Right? The Ohtani deal with the Dodgers is ridiculous because whomever buys the Dodgers, because this group isn't going to be keeping the Dodgers.
No.
Right? This group 15 years from now is not going to be owning the Dodgers, okay? Which means they don't have to pay Ohtani. Yeah. The new group does. He's only getting $2 million a year right now.
Yeah.
It's all backloaded. This Soto deal is going to set. Cohen's got money left and right. I understand that. Must be nice.
Yeah.
All right. So
the apparent number.
I
Yeah. The apparent number. We discussed it last year when it happened. 16 years, 760. The Yankees offered. The Mets offered 15 years, 765. So it's one less year, $5 more million total.
I never would have committed that. Yeah. There's no way. I'd have given him 5 years and told him, here you go, 5 years, $125 million. Oh, that's tough. That's what we're offering you. Guess what? Okay. And I'm telling you, the Mets, in the end, the Mets were bidding against themselves. I'm telling you. My gut feeling is they're bidding against themselves. The Yankees were throwing some numbers out there, but I think they're just throwing some numbers out there to make the Mets pay more. Right? Thinking that, hey, I'm sorry. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Right? It's one of the reasons baseball is there's more financial problems in baseball because there is no cap and you've got these deferred contracts. We make a joke every year about Happy Bobby Bonilla Day when he gets his
July 1st.
July 1. He gets like 1,050,000 or whatever the number is every year up until like 2034 or something like that. Okay, 2 years ago, the Cincinnati Reds were in the playoffs. Who was the sixth highest paid Cincinnati Red 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
The sixth highest paid Cincinnati Red 2 years ago. Ken Griffey Jr. Why?
Deferred money.
Because of deferred money. Right? The Ohtani deal is an absolute joke. The current group that negotiated will not be the ones paying that salary. They won't be there. They're not going to be there. Come on. These are commodities. They'll buy, sell, whatever. They're not going to be there in 15 years when they're paying the backloaded deferred money. That's why it's become comical what they're doing. And the Mets did it with Soto. Are you kidding me? 15 years, 700 what million?
15,760. It's $51 million average annual value from the Mets. The Yankees was $47.5 million average annual value.
So he's getting what, almost $50 million a year?
$51 million a year annually is the average number. Baseball usually it's a flat, whatever you get kind of yearly.
The Pirates' payroll's what, 70?
The Pirates' total payroll this season
67?
is $84 million.
$84 million.
If you include the total payroll, not just active, it is $84 million. The Miami Marlins is their current active payroll is $34 million. Their total payroll this season is $67 million.
And they took 2 out of 3 from the Mets.
Took 2 out of 3. They ended the season 4 games behind the Mets in total. They 79 and 83. Mets were 83 and 79. They almost it's criminal how bad the Mets were down the stretch. And the Mets are in the playoffs now. And yeah, you mentioned the Braves. They had a high payroll, but they had injuries. They had a crazy amount of injuries all season long. Strider's out. All these guys are out.
Acuna was out for a period of time again.
And the Braves payroll this season, if I can pull it on up,
It's about $250 million.
218 million total payroll, 129 active. The Mets is 342 and 267.
Yeah.
Their active payroll is double the Braves. They're paying $130 million more than the Braves. It is wild. And the Mets missed out on the playoffs, and they are now done. The playoff picture, as we see it right now, before we get to our Mets still.
Let's get to that in a second. All right. For whatever reason, and I think there are multiple reasons, but now because it's been so many decades, the NBA, the NHL, and the NFL are all thriving. Right? The NHL is thriving, but it's not to the level, and never will be of the other two.
It's growing.
The NBA is at its highest level of financial
positivity.
Same thing with, of course, the NFL's it's like they planted 32 money trees out there.
Now they're growing gold bars every other day.
Exactly. But they all have caps, which means by having a cap, they're able to pay a lot of money. They're able to they're all paying a lot of money. Right? They're not, they're not paying, tip change here. Right? The NBA, you've got max deals left and right. Most of them, by the way, don't make any sense, but they all fit under the cap. Right? It's all part of the collective bargaining agreement. The NFL, of course, they have more employees than anybody, so they have to. And they have a cap. Josh Allen is not complaining about his contract, neither of his teammates. Right? And then, of course, the NHL, they're actually paying out more money than ever. Their TV deal is better than ever, which has helped. Then there's Major League Baseball. Now, the NBA and the NHL do have a similar problem as Major League Baseball, and that is the regional sports networks.
Yes.
Regional sports networks were thought to be the golden goose.
For baseball especially.
For Major League Baseball above all. And SNY, yes, Nesson, okay, they're the rocks of Gibraltar of regional sports networks. MSN down in Baltimore, Washington, same thing. But in other places, they've gone out of business. Bally's got involved, and then suddenly it all started falling apart. Arizona, Minnesota, Cleveland. I'm just giving some examples here. San Diego, believe it or not, San Diego. All right, with that broadcast, I don't know if you've ever seen the Padres broadcast. Don Rosillo and
Don's the best.
And Mark Grant. That's about as good as it gets in a regional sports network. I mean, so it's not the talent, but Major League Baseball is now running those networks for them. Part of the new ESPN deal they're trying to work out is for ESPN to run those networks. But you're still trying to piecemeal something that was thought to be your financial gold mine that was going to keep everybody afloat for decades. Now you have big chinks in the armor financially. But yet when Rob Manfred brings up the subject of a salary cap, Bryce Harper reams him out. Right? Excuse me. It's worked in other sports. And we just talked about the Marlins. We talked about the Pirates. We didn't mention the A's. If you have a cap, you also have a floor. Baseball doesn't have a floor. Now, that's why Kansas City, the A's, Tampa, the Pirates, and the Marlins all vote against the idea of a cap, because those franchises do not want a floor. They don't want a floor. Right? Now, that would change everything, because even in the NBA, remember the Sixers were a team when they were going through the process. I still don't know what the result of the process is. They got one
sadness and heartbreak.
They got one guy out of it, Joel Embiid. Okay, that's the one guy they got.
How many knees does he have?
Right, but the Sixers were fined for being under the floor. They were fined for it.
You have to, if you were under the floor, you had to pay the number equivalent divided up to the players and given to them. I remember the Thunder did it in the second year SGA was there. Yeah. They paid every player on the Thunder $1 million, the franchise, just straight up $1 million paycheck because they were under it.
Right? So, okay, it has a floor. So what it does is now, okay, tide raises all boats. Okay? Now you've got guys making more money in Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Miami, Washington. I think Washington has no problem.
The projected number would be about $160 million is the projected number. So let's say $150 million is the floor. Let's say $150 is the floor.
I always thought 100 would be the floor, but that's
the number is thought 150 or so. There's 13 teams currently under the 150 floor. The Royals, Twins, Cardinals, Rockies, Brewers, Reds, Nats, Cleveland, Rays, Pirates, Athletics, White Sox, and Marlins. Those 13 are all below there.
3 of them made the playoffs.
I was going to say 3 of them. The Brewers were the best in the NL.
Yes, 3 of them made the playoffs.
Cleveland made it. Okay. They struck gold at the end of the season. And, of course, like the Reds.
They all made it. Okay? Even at 100. Now, I don't care what number you pick for the cap. If you want to pick the cap, and this is what I'd be talking to them about. Hey, we'll make the cap 400. Okay? We'll make the cap 400. You can do whatever you want with it. But there's going to be a floor, and the floor is going to be pick 100, 150, whatever. And that's where we're going to. I said, in that way, the tide's going to raise all boats. Hey, you can pick whatever number you want. But you've got to get some fiscal sanity over this, because there is no way Juan Soto's contract holds up. There is no way that Shohei Ohtani's contract holds up. Because Ohtani's deal, there's going to be new ownership. Hey, the Dodgers, despite Dodger Stadium, the name of the Dodgers, the market, the whole thing, that contract makes it harder to sell the team.
Because someone knows that bill's going to come due.
Yeah. Okay. Now, as for the playoffs. All right.
Playoffs, the current projection we've got right now in the AL, the 1 seed is the Blue Jays. They get the winner, I believe, of the Red Sox Yankees.
The Blue Jays are really good. Kevin Gausman. Gausman is the best prospect I ever saw take the mound at Medler Field, Lebrano Park, where you walked up, when you were done, said, well, that kid's going to be in the majors, was Gausman. I mean, Gausman was. By the way, the pitching coach for the Marlins pitched for the Spikes, just so you know.
Yeah.
But Gausman's, they've got Scherzer,
Shane Bieber, and Gausman.
Shane Bieber, Gausman.
That's a 1, 2, 3.
So that's their 1, 2, 3. Now, Kirk, the catcher's got to run faster to first.
They have him, Vlad Guerrero Jr., George Springer.
Bichette's hurt, though.
Bichette's hurt.
And that's going to be part of the scenario here. So they wait the Red Sox-Yankee winner. Well, the Yankees, of course, haven't had Cole all year. Okay? Now they've got Stanton back, but Stanton only hits home runs in the first 3 innings.
But then you've got Judge, who's finding himself hot right now. So we'll see what that looks like in the playoffs.
Because, look, they've got the Red Sox. The Red Sox are not as good as the Yankees. Yet, for some reason, they beat the Yankees. Right? And it's a short series. It's best 2 out of 3. Lucas Giolito is out. So they can't pitch him. He is being examined today by a doctor. His elbow's bothering him. So Giolito, who was terrific for them, is out. So Bayo would have to pitch game 2. And then they don't know what they're doing if there's a third game. Okay? Roman Anthony's out. Anthony was their best offensive player. You have Trevor Story, who's the MVP of the team. Bregman was terrific all year for them. They're a gutsy, scrappy team. Raphael is the best defensive player on either team. I mean, you can put him in second base. He makes awesome plays. You put him in center field. He catches everything. Right? And Duran and so forth. Okay, they've got these guys. But Anthony was their best offensive player. How he ran the bases, hit with power. Just, like the last month, he was hitting 346 and plays the field beautifully. They don't have him. He can't play in the series. So Giolito's out. Anthony's out. Marcelo Meyer is out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they've got key guys that are out. They have Crochet in game one.
Mm-hmm.
Crochet strikes out Aaron Judge about the same way Pedro Martinez struck out Carmelo Martinez. Hey, thanks for being a part of the group. You're done. Right? Oh, but he hit a home run off him.
Yeah.
What about the 14 strikeouts?
Mm-hmm. That's the question, is what does he look like outside of a home run against him?
Right. It's like, but he hit a home run. By the way, the Red Sox won the game that night.
Yeah.
But, hey, this is, and Crochet's only 25.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets the ball game one. And when it's a best 2 out of 3, every game has monumental pressure. You can lose game one of a 7-game series
and still find your way back.
It is. But the Red Sox don't have the depth of talent the Yankees do. They just don't. All right? Now, the Yankees, let's discuss their deficiencies for a moment. Okay? For those of you who watched the Little League World Series, you saw teams run the bases better than the Yankees.
They are bad at running the bases.
Okay. Number two,
bad at fielding.
Defensively,
oh my God,
they're not good.
It is criminal how bad they are.
They're not good. They get 51% of their runs from home runs. So they've got big bats all over the place. I mean, big bats. Rice can belt it. Judge can. Stanton can. Jazz Chisholm, who like, I wouldn't put him out there to field in a Babe Ruth League game, right? But his bat, he can come through with his bat. I mean, they've got guys. I mean, they've got a lot of power on this team. The bullpen, they have gone to great lengths to make that bullpen better, and you can question whether it is. I mean, there are questions about their bullpen. I'll say this: Warren, they threw him out as a starting pitcher down the end. Warren pitched pretty well for them. Fried is really good.
It'll be Fried, Rodon. I'm guessing Schlitter is the third starter.
Yeah.
If not, it's Heel. And then Warren's probably going to be in the bullpen, is my guess.
I'd start Heel. I think Heel's really good.
So then you've got him, and then you got Schlitter to come in in the bullpen.
I mean,
so
I'd start Heel because I just think Heel. And
he's great.
And the last time Heel pitched against the Red Sox, he was terrific.
Yeah.
I would lean in that direction. The Red Sox have no idea what they're doing with their third starter because Giolito's out.
Yeah.
I mean, so again,
they're hoping to end it in 2.
Injuries play a role for them, and the Anthony injury is huge. The Giolito injury is huge, so they've got problems there. Now, the other series is Cleveland and Detroit.
Yes.
Right? Look, Cleveland wins the division. They battle all the way back. They battle all the way back from 15.5 down to get in. All right? Cleveland doesn't have – they have – the best offensive player on either team in Ramirez, especially in this spot. Ramirez is just a terrific player that nobody ever talks about. He's not exactly built like Aaron Judge, but he does some terrific things for him. Now, Green is really good. Torkelson hits with power but doesn't hit for average. But they have Skubal. They can give the ball to Skubal.
The Cy Young level talent.
Right, that they can, again, get out of the gate. But Cleveland, to its credit, plays in such a way that they don't lack for confidence.
No.
And remember, Cleveland did all of this down the stretch with no Ortiz and no Clase, who were suspended over – because there was some squirrely something about
betting on games. Yeah.
Right? And they didn't have either one of their 2 critical bullpen guys and still got there.
And the last 6 games, they had to take on the Tigers 3 of the last 6, and they beat them 2 out of 3.
In Detroit, their bullpen is really leaky.
Yeah.
Right? I think Mize is a heck of a pitcher. People don't, because of Skubal, they don't talk about Mize. I think Mize, who I think was the 2nd overall pick in the draft.
I think 2nd or 3rd.
Terrific player. Terrific pitcher. The problem is that Detroit's losing games in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. And Cleveland's winning games. Even without Ortiz and Clase, they're winning games in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. Okay, so there's that series. Now you go over to the National League.
The 1 seed, the Brewers, they got to take on the winner of the Padres and Cubs in the 5-4 matchup. So Cubs first. Cubs are, of course, they've played well. Of course, you've got Pete Crow Armstrong.
But he slumped down the stretch.
Yeah.
He slumped the last month. All right, there was a point where Tucker went through a brutal 6-week slump. I mean, they need these guys, and Kyle Tucker is the guy who has thrived in this spot. They need him to thrive in this spot. They need that because Pete Crow Armstrong, whom they acquired from the Mets, was an all-star level player the first half, and all of a sudden,
just
like the last week of August, like he really, really struggled. And it's like, I don't know why. I'm not going to sit there and pretend I know why.
Yeah.
I think it's fun the Cubs are in. Now, the Padres have a lot of things going for them. Machado, Tatis, Merrill. I mean, that's a good-looking team all the way through. And the acquisitions that were made at the trade deadline, and they gave up some of their top-line prospects to get these bullpen guys.
Yeah, they brought in Mason Miller from Oakland, or I guess Sacramento now, or Las Vegas, whatever city they technically count as. But they've got Pivetta, Cease, and King on the mound with Darvish, Miller in the bullpen, Estrada in the bullpen, Suarez in the back end.
Cease is interesting because Cease, you keep looking at him and you keep saying that's a 15 to 18 game winner. And then you watch him pitch and like he just doesn't have any level of consistency. You don't know which guy you're getting on a given day. But they're a good-looking team in a lot of ways. They can put up some great offensive numbers.
Yeah.
And they have some speed with that team. And Bogarts is somebody who's been there, done that. He was a part of 2 world championship teams. So he understands what the pathway is to winning something like this. And I think that's important. So, advantage San Diego to me in that series.
And then the other series, the Phillies are the 2 seed. They got the winner of the 3-seeded Dodgers and 6-seeded Reds.
Yeah, look, the Reds got in. Well, first of all, let's talk about Green he's electric.
Hunter Green?
Yeah, he's electric on the mound.
Oh, yeah.
But the Dodger lineup is better, deeper, and can wear out a pitching staff.
And they've been there now and done that.
Yeah, I mean, they're the defending world champions. But their starting pitching is going to have to be good. And the Dodgers' starting pitching is fine. It's fine. Right? The problem is the Dodgers need to be a team that plays with the lead. Because their bullpen is so leaky. I mean, once they get to the 6th inning, man, if you can kind of hang in and be a run or 2 down after 6, the Dodgers can be had. That's why the Philadelphia series could be problematic for the Dodgers if they can get by the Reds. Look, the Reds are scrapping. Nobody gave them a chance. Yet the Reds, to their credit, kept hanging in, battling, under the radar. Nobody's talking about the Reds. And all of a sudden you look up and the Reds and the Mets are separated by a game. So 2 weeks to go, you're like, the Reds are there. And you're thinking, look, the Mets will close it out. Right, they'll win enough games. They've got more talent. They've got more talent than the Reds.
Mets gonna Mets, baby. Right? Mets gonna Mets.
I'm just saying, yeah. Right, but the Reds kept hanging in. Now, they got some favorable breaks. They got the Pirates, for example, a couple times down the stretch. Did not hurt the cause. But they are a team that fights, battles, hangs in there. Right? They've got an ace at the front that throws 100, 101, whatever. It's one thing the Red Sox do have. The Red Sox have the closer.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Aroldis Chapman.
Trying to think.
Yeah. Aroldis Chapman is somehow back to being incredible in pitching.
He's the kind of guy the Yankees could use. Oh, that's right. They had him.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to know why?
Why?
Because Chapman, let's go back 9 years. Cubs win the World Series. Chapman's a part of that team. And he was part of the Rangers, too, when they won, but he didn't have much to do with it. He gets to the 9th inning of Game 7 against Cleveland. He throws 41 pitches in the 9th inning. All 41 pitches were fastballs. All of them. Well, now, when you watch Chapman pitch, he mixes in a sinker. Right? He mixes in, once in a while, a curveball. and he's got his fastball.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, now he's out there attacking you with 3 pitches.
Not just one.
Not just a pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And in the majors, the major league players are so talented.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that here at this level with the Spikes when I'm broadcasting the Spikes games.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They can hit a fastball that's straight. I'll never forget the Spikes one time years ago had a pitcher named Joffrey Martinez. Joffrey Martinez at this level could throw 97, 98. And I mean, I don't mean, hey, once in a while touch it.
He could get there.
Consistently could throw 97, 98. But you know what his issue was? Threw 97, 98, but it was straight.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He had no movement on his fastball. Mm-hmm. That's why he could not advance through. And I remember one day they were playing the Staten Island Yankees, and the Spikes had a 4-run lead in the 9th inning, and they brought him out. Right? Now, they didn't bring him out to close. They wanted him to finish the game, right? But, but they thought they had a big enough lead.
They could.
It was actually a 5-run lead. It's a 5-run lead. They thought it was a big enough lead they could bring him out. First pitch of the inning. First pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Kid for Staten Island takes it and lines it up the middle and nearly tears his head off.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And the pitch was 98. I remember I turned off both the microphones. I looked over at Joe Putnam, who was my broadcast partner and still is. And I said, Joe, it's over. And Joe was very young at the time. He says, yeah, 3 more outs and we got him. I said, no, Joe.
Other way.
Right? 8 runs later, Staten Island won the game. Because, again, straight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, by having the sinker, mixing in a change, and throwing the fastball, now what Chapman has done, he's created movement and, as a hitter, unpredictability in your mind as to what you're getting. And that's why he had, I think his ERA was like 1.20 or 1.17 or something like that. It was great. Right? So, I mean, they've got that. And you need to have that because you get to the 9th inning, I mean, you're going to have to, and he hasn't pitched in a few days. So,
yeah.
I mean, so that's the way those matchups go in the playoffs.
Making our way over now before we get to Penn State versus UCLA, and before we get also to Penn State hockey, which we'll get to also in a second. Last night,
Guy Gadowski's on the show tonight.
Guy Gadowski's on the show tonight. Very nice. In the NFL, week 4, I believe, has officially wrapped on up.
Yeah, the Jets are 0-4. So
the Jets are 0-4. And last night's game, the big news was Tyreek Hill, who seems to have dislocated his knee, his kneecap, ACL, multiple ligaments torn. He is out for the season, is the expectation.
Well, he's going to be out for a long time.
And the Dolphins now without him, they did end up winning the game 27-21 over those New York Jets. The Broncos then won 28-3 over the Bengals after the fact. Late at night in Mile High.
He is going to, by the way, he's going to have surgery later today.
Yeah, he's going to have surgery later today. He tore his ACL and other ligaments per Marcel Louis-Jacques from ESPN. Multiple ligaments, ACL, some sort of kneecap issue too. It was just the worst injury you pretty much get. One of the worst injuries you can get. It was pretty much everything. And
you're talking about a guy where speed means everything to his game. And
he is the definition of speed. And we've discussed that. That's why he's so incredible, is that he can burn you and he can make you get open with 2 steps. So that takes place yesterday. Elsewhere in pro sports, the Rangers, I believe, let go of Bruce Bochy. Twins fired Rocco Baldelli. Their Mets are retaining Carlos Mendoza. That, I believe, is what it looks like. And the Giants got rid of Bob Melvin as well. So that is what it currently looks like in the MLB landscape in terms of managers. No surprises kind of across the board there. No. And Don Kelly was extended for next season. He, of course, came in for Derek Shelton in May. And so they extended
They did fine with him.
Kelly.
They did fine.
They did fine. Now making our way over to Friday night's opener for Penn State men's hockey. We got to listen yesterday to Guy Gadowski, Gavin McKenna, the Penn State hockey guys on their media day as they get set to take the rink this coming Friday, I believe, in Arizona State.
Friday,
Saturday at Arizona State. And our first official look at Gavin McKenna and the Penn State hockey team that's ranked, I believe, in third, top 10 at least.
I guess.
I believe in NCAA hockey in terms of the rankings. And you said you're having, of course, Guy on the show tonight.
Yes.
This is about as exciting as it gets.
Look, there are expectations. There's no question. And it's not just having McKenna there.
They're ranked fifth, by the way.
Okay. But also, Guy's son transferring from Army in.
Mac.
Well, Matt Godowski was a Hobie Baker Award finalist last year. I mean, he's a heck of a player in his own right. So how do you manage all this? And this will be something I'm going to start with Guy tonight, so I'll give you a preview about where I'm going with it. When Guy took the job, I remember sitting in his makeshift office, and I said, you're kind of like starting an expansion team. He goes, exactly. He says, the difference is, Steve, we're starting an expansion team without an expansion draft. Yeah. Well, one thing that you have to do when you're in the spot he's in is you have to then develop a culture. What is the culture of your program? What kind of player do you want? What kind of player fits? Right? And if you develop a strong enough culture, it should be able to get you through tough times, a 9-game losing streak. It should then allow you to thrive during great times, a run to the Frozen Four. All those elements came into play in just one season alone, let alone other seasons where they've won Big Ten championships and so forth, or got within a goal of the Frozen Four when Michigan beat them in overtime, so forth. So now you've got all these other people coming in, the Joseph kid, Matt Godowski, McKenna, right, to go with Aiden Fink, people like that. All right. Okay. You're going to have, because it's a long season, there'll be some great moments. Everybody's loving. There's going to be, because that's the way it happens in the length of a season. Who goes undefeated anymore? I mean, who?
Nobody.
In anything goes undefeated anymore.
Doesn't
Nobody
happen.
does. Nobody does. Right? We marveled at Oklahoma City last year. They go 82-0? No. Okay? We marveled at Florida Panthers who won back-to-back Stanley Cup titles. Did they go 82-0? No. Okay? College football. Okay? 14-2 was the final record of the national champion. Right? Not 16-0, 14-2. Okay. Right? College basketball. You haven't had an undefeated team since Indiana. Kentucky got close, and guess what? Lost. Okay? They lost in the national semifinal. Hey, this is the team they're going to do it. No. It's hard. Okay? It's a long season. And you just want to take each one individually, play well. Okay? Remember, there have been no preseason games. So in hockey, you start, just like college football, you start out of the gate. There were no exhibition games to get a feel for how do my lines look? What kind of chemistry do I have in my lines in an actual game situation? You can only find that out in a game. How are my defense combinations? I can only find out in a game if it's working out the way we thought it was going to work. What's the communication between my goalie and my players out front? You can only find out in a game. Okay? And so there are great expectations, but don't sit there and think that they're going to win every single game, because you don't. Right? There's still enough young players on this team. And remember, the same guys that got to the Frozen Four that are still part of this team last year were also part of the team that lost 9 in a row. Okay? So, okay, my point is, I think they have a chance to be great, and I can't wait to watch them. I was literally talking, okay, the name-dropping time, had a nice long conversation with Terry Pagula the other night, right? And we're standing there, and he's doing this. I said, Terry, okay? He goes, yeah, that Jason Lord guy.
I was going to say, Jason, if you're looking, if you see a face that says banned from here, it's probably Jason Lord.
But I said, I can't wait to watch him. He goes, Steve, I can't wait to go watch him too. Right? Now, I think he's watching him for other reasons.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that he loves Penn State hockey. But, but that's the excitement around this team. You have the potential first overall pick in the NHL draft out there. You already have a guy that's been drafted, I think, 14th overall by Carolina and Joseph. Okay, I think it was 14th overall.
I believe 14th.
The Carolina Hurricanes, I think, took him. All right. And then Mac is same thing. To add in with Aiden Fink, who was a Hobie Baker finalist himself last year. Okay. But there's a lot of balance in hockey, and there are a lot of teams that have draft picks on them. Minnesota's normally a team that carries 5 to 7 NHL draft picks on the team. Michigan usually has a lot of draft picks on their team. Right? That's what makes the Big Ten so hard. The Big Ten is, winning in the Big Ten is so gratifying because you have some top-level talent there. Now, I don't know what teams are able to pay out of the $20.5 million because everybody knows it's top heavy toward football, and then the second one, in all likelihood, at a lot of places, is men's basketball. Okay, so what's left? But it is an exciting time. Pagula sells out anyway, and they've got Arizona State to start the season. Okay, but you have no preseason. So you're going to have to go through and see, okay, all right, I think we've got the lines. They look comfortable together. I think that looks fine. Now, those defensive combinations look fine. Schematically, we're doing the right thing. Or you may they have to tweak that. Let's give it a little more time there. Right? Nope, feel good about that. And, you have to do that through playing games. Now, when they're done with Arizona State, they come back next week and they have Clarkson here. Yeah,
their current rankings, by the way, Penn State is 5th. They take on 14th Arizona State, and then Clarkson is currently sitting 20th.
Right.
So good teams.
Is the Clarkson thing Friday, Saturday?
Clarkson is a Thursday, Friday, October 9th and 10th before homecoming game on Saturday against Northwestern.
Jack and I were talking about going over Friday night.
So Thursday, Friday against Clarkson. Of course, that's going to come before Western 3:30.
Hockey is a great sport. You and I both grew up in New England. And I grew up in a different era than you did, because I was talking to Terry about this Saturday night. And I said, look, I grew up, during the Bobby Orr era. And you ought to listen to Terry talk about the kind of guy Bobby Orr is. Like, we were both talking about how Jack has no ego, like zero, none, down to earth. He said, Bobby Orr makes Jack look like a bragger. He says, and you and I both know Jack has no ego. He says Bobby Orr has less than him. Really. But I grew up loving hockey, right? Esposito, Hodge, Cashman, all right? That was the lead line, okay? McKenzie, Busick, Freddie Stanfield. Oh, right? Yeah, how about, Don Marcotte, Derek Sanderson, Eddie Westfall, third line. I knew all the lines, okay? Dallas Smith. Okay, Don Aubrey, Bobby Orr, Teddy Green, Jerry Cheevers, Eddie Johnson. Okay, that was our team. Okay, that's how much. Okay. That's why last year Penn State played basketball. I think it was Washington. It was an early game. So when it was over, Penn State was playing Notre Dame. So I walked over to Pagula and. So I go up and I sit with Brian for a little bit. And then friends of mine, the Goloszewskis, Gary and Amy, season tickets. And I want to go down and at least say hi to them. But they're on the opposite side of the rink.
We need to get you a hoodie, and we need to get you one of those masks with a mustache, sunglasses. We need to get you. Maybe we'll get you a Jason Lord mask. You can wear that. No one would stop you. Be scared.
I eventually got there. Okay. All right. And when I'm done talking to him, I get up to leave, and I'm going up and like, hey, hi, right? And then I get up to the top, and this usher says, I always heard you loved hockey. It's the first time I've ever seen you here. I'm like going, I'm like sitting there like going, normally when I go, to be honest with you, okay, Dan Delegati, I sit in his box.
Okay. Steve's flexing on all of us right now.
Right? But I'm saying, normally I sit in his box when I go. Okay, it's easier. All right, it's just easier, and so that's why
trying to avoid Jerry and Jason at all costs. I see.
They're both cleverly disguised with the sanitation department, but I go a lot more than people realize because I love the sport. I mean, when they had that exhibition game between the Penguins and the Sabres, man, I loved going to that. That was a blast. So having this like this, man, love hockey. And this will be an interesting start this week.
That it will be. And then coming up on Saturday, after hockey, before hockey's second game against Arizona State, you will be also on the West Coast, Mr. Jones, in Los Angeles in the Rose Bowl for the 3:30 Eastern Time kickoff against UCLA.
Right. So what's interesting with UCLA is this. Let's talk about this for a moment. This is Game 5 for UCLA.
And what does that mean?
So the question's going to be, I think there are decisions that need to be made by individual players, not by the staff. The staff has nothing to do with this. They can talk to them all they want. So I'll give you an example. They're in that 30-day window right now, which we're not sure if that's going away or not. I mean, it's in place now.
Due to Deshaun Foster being let go.
Being let go. The new transfer portal, they decided yesterday, is going to be January 2nd to the 16th. So they're going to make it 15 days.
Gets it almost to the final game.
Right.
Almost.
2 to 16. No other transfer window. But they were undecided about the 30-day window after a coach is let go. They were still undecided about that. So just so you know.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't affect this current situation. This is going to be moving forward, but I wanted to at least update everybody on that and what it means. If you are Nico Iamaleava, you're not going to leave. Why? He already took his red shirt his first season at Tennessee in 2023. So he's out of options. He can transfer in the portal if he wants and go someplace else when the season's over.
He can't leave
But
yet.
leaving after Game 4 this year does him no good whatsoever on eligibility. He already has lost the year of eligibility. He's already lost it. So he's not transferring out.
No.
Okay? Jalen Berger, for example, the running back who has started his career at Wisconsin and played against Penn State, then went to Michigan State and played at Penn State. Now he's at UCLA. He's a senior. He's done. He's out of options. He's not going anywhere. Thomas is the same way, the other running back. Frias is the same way.
Woods, though, Anthony was their leading rusher, or technically behind Iamaleava. He's junior. He could leave.
Right, he could. He could, right? And it's the guys that, like, it's their freshman class, and they don't play a lot of freshmen.
No.
They do not play a lot of freshmen. But it's their freshman class that are sitting there saying, okay, I'm not up to 4 games anyway, probably in most cases, and they're looking around saying, do I stay? Which then, of course, affects your practices and so forth if you have fewer players. So, I don't know what they're going to do about it. But there is not as many guys that would be in play because many of them have exhausted their redshirt year anyway.
Yeah. So,
but it's still possible that there are a few guys in there that may be saying, hey, do I play in Game 5 or not?
So what do we see with this UCLA team? What can you kind of tell the listeners?
To his credit, you can look at him that he's had a tendency to be a little too high in some throws and then adjust and be too low on some throws. But actually, for the most part, you watch him, Kylie plays well.
He's passing 65% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns, 3 picks.
He runs the RPO. He's actually pretty good at it. He's slight in build, though. That's why, you do take some shots here. He's a lot taller than people realize. He's 6'6",
215.
Right?
So he's,
yeah. He leads the team in both passing, for obvious reasons, but also leads them in rushing. He has 204 yards rushing to this point.
204, 44 carries on the season, averaging 4.5 yards.
Quasi Gilmore's been good for him, but it should be pointed out that they finally got Rico Flores back into the lineup at wide receiver against Northwestern. That helped. Their offensive line has really struggled, and so is their defensive front. They've given up a lot of yards rushing this year. I will give Northwestern credit. Northwestern has been a good rushing football team to begin with anyway, but the two guys had a pretty good day against UCLA. Now, in that game, they fell behind 17-0. That should have flushed them. That should have been it, done, you're finished. Yet, in the second half, UCLA's defense shut them out. Shut them out. And they got to within 3. They had the ball with a chance to tie or win. Now, they couldn't get there. But, and by the way, Magani, the kicker, is very, very good. Very good. And he, anything under 50 yards, you feel like extremely confident he's going to make it. But that's who they are at this point. Tim Skipper is now the interim head coach. He did the exact same thing as the interim head coach at Fresno State. Exact same thing. And they brought in Kevin Coyle, who 2 weeks ago was on the Syracuse staff. Well, now he's coming in and he's trying to get a hold of everybody. And guess what? Defensively, they pitched a shutout in the second half at Northwestern. So let's give credit where credit is due as to what they've done. Last week against Northwestern, down 17-0, they did not quit. Well, that at least tells you something. So, look, you have to go out and play with the lead on these people. You have to. Because you've got to get that mindset of, for them, here we go again. The longer they hang in, the more confidence they will gain because they're aching to get something positive here. You have to keep any positive thought out of their mind. And you have no other choice but to go out to me, and you've got to be able to
you have to put the game away. It's something you got to put it. You got
to play with the lead. Make them play catch up because they've been playing catch up all year. Look, you're talking about they're only 31% on third down, and the reason is they've got too many third and longs. Defensively, they're giving up 58%, almost 59% on third down.
You got to convert those to your Penn State.
There's just a lot of third and shorts. I mean, they are dead last defensively in FBS in third down rank.
I am staring directly at this Penn State rushing attack this week, saying this is what I'm most intrigued by. Because
here's the rush defense for them. The rush defense for them is 233 yards a game. They're dead last in the Big Ten, and they're 131 out of 134 in FBS.
That's why I'm looking at this Penn State rush attack saying this is the game. If you need a get-back game, a game where you want to, after last week, after your leading rusher was Katron Allen, 54 yards, he had 139 on the ground total. Not a great game by Penn State rushing standards.
Right.
If there's a game you're going to try and crack 200, get Katron back the ball, rushing well, get Nick Singleton back in, rushing well, and just start to get the offense going and try to figure out what you're doing, how to change things, this is the week to do it.
Right.
Is just run it down their throats because you have the ability to, and their defense is not good enough at stopping it. If there's 1 week you're going to let your offensive line and your running backs really go, this is the week. Anyone thinking Drew Aller is going to pass for 500 yards? Probably not this week.
No. So let me give you the rundown on UCLA in terms of this 5-game deal.
Yeah.
Okay. They have 30 redshirt seniors. So, I mean, some of them play, some don't.
They're gone.
Okay. But they're not bagging anything. You have 3 seniors that haven't taken a red shirt. Only one of them plays. You have 11 redshirt juniors, which means they've taken their redshirt year. So they're out. You have 7 juniors that have not taken a redshirt year. Of those 7 juniors, all of them play. Katie Arnold, the least of the group. But all 7 do play.
Mm-hmm.
They have to decide what they want to do. They have 20 redshirt sophomores on the team. A bunch of them do play. Okay? Mm-hmm. A bunch of them play. Let's see. Of that group, Luke Duncan, Rico Flores, I just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Nico, it doesn't matter with him. He already took his redshirt year. I mean, the redshirt sophomore group means they've taken a redshirt year, but that doesn't mean they're not going to go. Mm-hmm. They have one true sophomore, that's Quasi Gilmer. Gilmer is not taking his redshirt. Mm-hmm. Okay? Then redshirt freshmen, yeah, they took their redshirt, but a lot of these guys aren't playing anyway, and they've got 3 years in front of them. Mm-hmm. Okay? And then they've got 23 freshmen, of which they are all eligible to consider it. Transfers, mm-hmm. You want to know how many transfers this team has? They have 52 transfers on this team. 52.
That is a lot, Steve Jones.
Because, again, when you're in the situation they're in, you're trying to Band-Aid a lot of spots on a team. And that's what happens when you change coaches. Mm-hmm. When you change coaches, the door becomes a revolving door. Okay? So Chip was there. Chip left. And Chip left late in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Chip left after the recruiting year. Chip left after the signing period. Chip left after the bowl game. Right? And he did his 1-year deal at Ohio State and while buying property in Las Vegas. Yeah. And that was it.
Yeah.
So that is part of the issue that they have.
Penn State comes into this game favored by 26.5 points now. The current projection is total is the over-under is sitting at 49.5. So the number they're saying is you get to 26, you win the game. So we will see what happens. You guys are flying out later this week.
Thursday.
You're flying out on Thursday. So that's what we can kind of expect from this matchup. It's a 3:30 game. We're going to have our pregame tailgate show, myself, Thomas Frank Carr. We're going to be at the Penn Stater at Legends Bar. We're going to be hanging out there pregame. Yep. And we're going to have a blast. I know you'll be in sunny Los Angeles in the Rose Bowl.
Yes.
When's the last time you called a regular season Rose Bowl game?
I've never done a regular season game in the Rose Bowl. I've done I've broadcast 3 Rose Bowl games, but not.
Yeah. If I saw the highlight last night posted on Twitter. If I am Mr. Nick Singleton, I'm looking at that saying, I've been here before. That's an interesting stadium to play in again.
Yeah. That was where the 87-yard touchdown run he had. Mm-hmm. Watch Drew Shelton on that play, because Drew's a true freshman, right, in that game. On that play, he blocked 2 Utah players.
2. One man got 2 guys.
He got 2 guys on that play, pulled into the hole, got 2 guys on the play, and then Nick
just went straight.
I believe when he got to the 50-yard line, I said, goodbye, he is gone.
Yes. So this game is 3:30 on Saturday, and then the homecoming game, it was announced yesterday, is 3:30 as well against Northwestern. There's a 3:30 kickoff here in Happy Valley against Northwestern on the 11th. So this is now going to be Penn State's 4th out of 6 games at 3:30, which is, I mean, I'll take a 3:30 over a noon game. It means everyone has to sleep in a little bit more. I appreciate that.
It's interesting. What do the fans always say about the players? Oh, they're so sleepy at noon games. You might be.
Yeah.
But when you talk to the players, guess what time they prefer?
They prefer, I'm guessing, noon. Because that way they can, their body, they're up, active, they're ready to go.
They want to wake up, they want to go, and they want to play.
Yeah. They don't want to wait.
And I've talked to them. I've asked them, what do you prefer? The players all tell you they want to play at noon.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's not what the fans want to hear.
Well, they're going to get a noon game in California.
Again, have you ever taken the time to, ask the players what they prefer? Of course not. You just sit there and assume what, It's like, stop assuming.
You know what they say about assuming, Steve Jones.
Well, it's okay. Yeah. That's why I've taken a different tact in my life.
They say you become Jason Lord.
It's a different tact in my life as to how to approach certain things, because I'd rather just ask people.
More than fair. So, a lot of sports happening. You'll be in Los Angeles. You have got Quarterbacks Club tomorrow. You'll be there. We got a few things coming up, a few interviews, people coming on the airwaves. Yeah. Anyone we can look forward to, possibly named Layson Jord.
Oh, we're not going to be talking to I had explained to him that the ball was inflated and not stuffed. You have to be worried about people like that. He said baseball. I had to tell him it was stitched and not taped. He's a scary, scary person. No, but we will have John Sauber from the Center Daily Times. We will have Neil Coulon talking about the Steelers, and then we will have Nate Bauer.
Thank you for listening to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, a 7 Mountain Media production. Come back at 11 every weekday for analysis of the latest happening in the sports landscape. From college football to European soccer, Steve and Kyle cover it all on Sports Talk with Steve.